Good afternoon, students. Welcome you all to StudyIQ IS English. I will start the today's class by putting forward before you a statement written by Mahatma Gandhi in his 1921 edition of Young India. Mahatma Gandhi has clearly emphasized upon the benefit of education in vernacular, that means the local languages. Now, he says that foreign medium has caused brain fag, put an undue strain upon the nerves of our children and made them crammers and imitators. And then he adds, and this has made them unfit for original work and thought. Now, Mahatma Gandhi was clearly emphasizing on the importance of learning, importance of education through vernacular or local languages. Mahatma Gandhi was simply saying that if a child receives education in his or her vernacular language, now the language is naturally known to him. So now his focus is on conceptual clarity and learning. And if he is receiving language or education in a foreign language, a major chunk of his energy, his mental energy, will go on to translation. So now whatever he is listening, he will translate it and then he'll try to understand the concept. And this will put an undue strain on the minds of young learners. Because at that point of time, before independence, the British policy was to promote education in English medium only. And Indian nationalists, they were trying to emphasize that apart from English language, obviously which was also necessary, local languages shall also be given their due. So Mahatma Gandhi stated that we shall promote education, at least primary education in vernacular languages, so that the intellect, the natural intellect of children can flourish. Now, why am I putting forward this statement given by Mahatma Gandhi? There is a reason for that. Recently, Kerala Legislative Assembly has passed Malayalam Language Bill 2025. Yes, so this was the context, and I was trying to make you understand the importance of local languages. So Kerala Legislative Assembly has recently passed Malayalam Language Bill 2025. Now, the question is, in today's video, we're going to discuss what are the major objectives of this bill and what are the major concerns regarding this bill. Because till now, all of you must have understood the objective of this bill is to make sure that all the official purposes of or all the official functions of Kerala would be conducted in Malayalam language, as well as education in Kerala, at least in government schools and government aided schools, that would be done in Malayalam language only. So now the bill on the one hand tries to promote Malayalam language in Kerala. On the other hand, it also tried to ensure that all the concerns regarding this bill shall be addressed, because now one major concern would be, what about children who are not from the Malayali background? That means the children whose native language is either Kannada or Tamil, because in Kerala there are a significant chunk of communities who either speak Tamil language or who speak Kannada language. Now what about them? So in this bill, the government has also made adequate provisions for such children and such speakers. So in today's video, we're going to discuss the major objectives as well as the major provisions of Kerala language bill. Apart from that, we'll also discuss how the concerns regarding the linguistic minorities are addressed in this particular bill. Now, we shall understand one thing. India is a diverse country, and we can say with pride that none of the country in the world, no other country in the world, they're as diverse as India. So we are a diverse country. We have multiple languages. We have such variety of languages that can never be seen in any other country. We have hundreds and hundreds of languages. We have scripts, we have languages, we have hundreds of dialects. Now, when India got independent, so the framers of the constitution, because India is a diverse country, so they thought that there can be no national language of country, because every language has its importance. So if we make only one language as a national language, so it would be like discriminating against other languages. So the constitution framers said, we do not have a national language, but for the time being, we'll make English as the official language. That means all the official business of the union as well as the states will be conducted in English language. And after some point of time, the government can also adopt native languages. For example, the union government can adopt Hindi language, and the state governments in a phased manner can adopt their regional languages as their official languages. So here, see, Article 345 simply says English will be used for official purposes of the state. Secondly, the legislature of a state may by law adopt any one or more of the languages in use in the state or Hindi as a language or languages to be used for all official purposes. So Article 345 of the Constitution simply it empowers the state governments that they can adopt any regional language or Hindi as their official state language for the purpose of conducting official functions. Now, the pursuance of this, or in pursuance of this, Kerala Legislative Assembly has passed Malayalam language bill. Now, what are the objectives of this bill? I told you, because in India, generally, when we got independence, so there was a demand that the states shall be reorganized on linguistic basis. That means a particular area that speaks a particular language shall be made into one state. So that now the state can have one language and all the official purposes of the state will be conducted in that language only, and the medium of education as well as the medium through which the aspirants can go for or aspirants can sit for the public service examination can also be one. So India was also reorganized on the basis of language. We had the 7th Constitutional Amendment through which India was reorganized on the basis of language. Now, in pursuance of this, Kerala Legislative Assembly simply passes the bill. And what are the objectives? Obviously, the first objective is that the official purpose or the official jobs of Kerala, starting from the very local governments as well as the state government, all the official functions will be conducted in Malayalam language apart from English language. Second, the laws, the language of legislation as well as subordinate legislation will be Malayalam only. That means if the laws are passed, the laws will be passed in English language, Malayalam language. Next, the primary education, at least in government schools, will be in Malayalam language. Now see. So the bill highlights and says, section 4 says that all the bills that are introduced in Kerala Legislative Assembly, apart from that, all the ordinances promulgated by the governor of the state of Kerala, as well as all the orders, rules, regulations, bylaws. That means all the legislation as well as subordinate legislation will be in Malayalam. See, so the primary language of legislation would be in Malayalam, and apart from that, the English version will also be made available. That means the primary language would be Malayalam and the bills will also be published in English language for clarification purpose. Secondly, all the central acts, that means passed by the parliament, they will be published in English and translated into Malayalam. So all the acts that have been published by or passed by the parliament, those acts will be translated in Malayalam language as well. That means the language of legislation in Kerala from now onwards would be Malayalam. Secondly, official works. So for the purpose of conducting official works, for the purpose of issuing any order, for the purpose of issuing any executive order, the language would be Malayalam. So all the official works in the state of Kerala would be in Malayalam language, and the language of official communication would be Malayalam only. See, section 5 specifically states that for all the official purposes, only Malayalam will be used. However, if there need to be conducted a correspondence, that means communication regarding any official matter between center and Kerala or between Kerala or other states, so it can be done in English language, because it is not necessary that other states would be adapting Malayalam. So that's why if there has to be any official correspondence or communication between Kerala and other states or union, it would be done in English language. Apart from that, section 6 specifically states, it is very important that Malayalam will be the compulsory first language. Now, in all the government school as well as government aided schools, Malayalam will be the compulsory first language. That means obviously there will be a 3-language formula as per the national education policy, but the first language would be Malayalam, because obviously in Kerala a large or a significant majority of people speak Malayalam. Secondly, the government will also promote the dissemination of Malayalam language in schools in the states. So that means even if there are certain schools that imparts education in English medium, so for them also the government will take appropriate measures to promote Malayalam language. Next, court proceedings. Now, important part of the function of state is administration of justice. Now, as of now, most of the works in Supreme Court or the High Courts of the state, it is conducted in English language. And the irony is, most of the people in this country don't understand English language. That means they are seeking justice in a language that they don't understand. So that's why it has been raised, issue has been raised by even the judges as well as advocates, that the court proceedings shall be in language that the ordinary people can understand. So now section 7 addresses this concern. It simply states that the proceedings, the court proceedings, though the proceedings can take place in English language, but all the proceedings will be translated, including the judgment will be translated into Malayalam, right from High Court judgments, district judgments and the subordinate court judgments. Obviously, it will be under the supervision of High Courts. Obviously, High Courts are constitutional bodies, and all the subordinate judiciary within a state functions within the supervision of High Court, and as guided by High Court, the court proceedings will be translated into Malayalam language. Apart from that, section 11 specifically focuses on information and technology. As of now, we all understand information technology, it is the new asset. A country that is adept in information and technology, the country will grow leaps and bounds. So India's service sector, it is basically governed by IT, information technology. We have multiple states, especially in southern India, that have become hub of information and technology. So to promote IT, information technology in local, that means Malayalam language, section 11 specifically says that IT department in the state, it will ensure development of open source software and accessories in Malayalam language. That means now the work of developing softwares, and obviously we need languages, local languages, the coding languages. So the government is emphasizing, and especially the IT department is emphasizing, that they need to develop open source softwares in Malayalam language as well. That means now by giving inputs in Malayalam language, the work on information technology can be conducted. And the section 11 also states that information in websites, and all of us know that government communicates through their websites. Government communicates through their notifications are generally uploaded on websites. So all the information on the websites of various departments, it will be in Malayalam language as well, apart from English. So now ordinary people who are not so adept in English, they can also read notifications, and they will also be aware of various measures taken by the government. Now we have seen, as of now, through this bill, Kerala state is promoting Malayalam language for official purposes, for court proceedings, for education, even for the purpose of developing information technology. Now there are certain concerns. What are those concerns? I told you earlier also, Kerala also has a significant proportion of people who speak Tamil, who speak Kannada language, because obviously Kerala has a border with Karnataka as well as Tamil Nadu. So now what about them? If a student belongs to a family whose native language is Tamil or Kannada, what about the student? How can he learn, or how can he compulsorily learn Malayalam language? To address this concern, section 7 has been inserted. Now section 7 specifically states, it provides special provisions for linguistic minorities of the state. It simply says students whose mother tongue is any other language apart from Malayalam, he can pursue their study in their language of their choice. That means if the students whose native language is not Malayalam, if they want to continue their studies in any other native language, that means either Kannada or Tamil or any other language, they will be given an option to do so. And they do not have to take compulsory Malayalam language paper. Apart from that, section 7 also highlights students from other states and foreign countries studying in Kerala whose mother tongue is not Malayalam shall be exempted from writing examination in Malayalam language. It simply says, suppose now we have a compulsory Malayalam language paper. So the students who do not have Malayalam as their native language, they do not have to write the compulsory Malayalam language paper in 9th, 10th and higher secondary level. So they will be exempted. So now the students who do not have Malayalam as their background, as their native language, now they will not be at any disadvantage, because if this exempting provision was not included, now such student will be under a severe disadvantage. And apart from that, linguistic minorities, now this has to be changed because they have only focused on Tamil and Kannada linguistic minorities. That means Kerala government is only emphasizing on linguistic minorities, especially from two categories, those belonging to Tamil and those belonging to Kannada background. So now, apart from these minorities, some other minorities also need to be included. For example, Telugu minorities. So now, the thing is, government is saying through this bill that if minorities want to communicate with the state government, they need not do it in Malayalam language. Because now suppose I have to write a letter to the State Department. I have to write a letter or an application to the State Department seeking certain relief in a particular matter. And I'm not adapting Malayalam because my native language is Kannada or Tamil. So in that case, I can write down letters, I can put forward my correspondence in my own language. So there is no language compulsion on me as such. So with this, we have seen that Kerala Legislative Assembly, it has took a drastic step in promoting Malayalam language, and that is in tune with the spirit behind our constitution as well as Article 345. And I have shown you that Mahatma Gandhi himself has stated that intellect of a person, especially a child, can only flourish in their vernacular language. Otherwise, his mind is always confused in translation from one language to another. So to promote local language, to promote the interest of students as well as to promote the interest of the language, the government has taken a huge step. This is a welcome step, and one thing that is commendable and that has been included in this bill is they've also created exemption for minorities, linguistic minorities. So we have seen major provisions of this bill, and this bill was passed by Kerala Legislative Assembly 10 years back in 2013. Now this bill was referred to the union government. It was not passed by the union government. For 12 years, it was not passed by the union government. After the judgment of the court in State of Tamil Nadu versus Governor of Tamil Nadu, when the Supreme Court itself stated that the governors and the president cannot sit on a bill for an indefinite period of time. After that, the central government returned the bill, and now the Kerala government or the Legislative Assembly has again repassed this bill in the present form. So this bill, once it receives the assent of the governor of the state of Kerala, it will become an act and all the provisions will come into force. So with this, we'll wind up the video for today. So we'll meet in the next video with a new topic, and if you want me to cover any specific topic related to a syllabus or related to your region, you can write down the topic in the comment section. If that topic is relevant for the students, we'll make sure that the topic is taken for the purpose of video and a detailed and explanatory video is made on that particular topic. So for today, it's okay. So we'll wind up the session for today. See you in the next class. Goodbye. Jai Hind.